up, though, everybody? This your boy DC1, the D313XP, and your boy is back. It's been a very long time since I've been back on the XP, man. So it's been lot been going on, been working and stuff like that. I know it's early. I know it's almost like 10 o'clock in the morning, but I just wanted to come in here live. Want to talk about what's happened last night game. Um, but yeah, first I want to say I want to give a shout out to you know, family, friends, saying give a shout out to them. I'm gonna give a shout out to the guys, Detroit Fan Report had me on their podcast yesterday, on their show, on the post game, pre-game show. I'm gonna give a shout out to the Dynasty Sports Network, my guys. Definitely we'll be back on. Which would have been on yesterday, but situations going on, so we're definitely gonna be coming back to y'all as well. So yeah, man. So obviously glad to hear and to be back, man. So got to talk about what happened yesterday, right? Yes, Lions got lost 27-13. What up, Foster? Long time. Long time no see, man. How you been, Foster? It's good to see you, my brother. It's good to see you, Foster. I hope everything's going well with you as well, man. So, yeah, the game wasn't really close. If you really look at it, the game was really close from perspective. I mean, Green Bay dominated the Lions from pretty much start to finish. Lions just didn't have. It was just a bad day at the office. Do I see the Lions still are a good solid team? Yes, I do. Green Bay just wanted it more. Plain and simple. Green Bay wanted it more. They've been losing to the Lions the last 2 or 3 years. Then they got tired of it, shut it. And then the part two is that Michael Parsons only played 30 snaps. He didn't play the whole entire. He didn't play a bunch of snaps. He only played 30 snaps, and he was two pressures I can say more than two, but the stats said two pressures. He got one sack. He contributed that pressure. He put pressure on that offensive line. Our offensive line is. Like I said, it's a new offensive line. When you don't have, a guy, a Ragnow who's retired, when you got an older guy that's up in age like Taylor Decker, Glasgow and those guys, and then when you got a Redlich, send a rookie, and obviously Penei Sewell is our best offensive lineman. When you get punked like that, man, Green Bay just wanted it more, man. You got to get credit to Green Bay defense, man. You got to get credit. They wanted it more. Yes, I know they was at home from their home crowd, but they wanted it more. They wanted to send a statement to the Detroit Lions. Fans have to understand the Lions are the hunted. They're hunting for. They know the Lions are the Lions had the best record in the NFC last year. They're coming for the Detroit Lions. They're not making it easy for the Detroit Lions. If you look at our schedule, we got one of the toughest schedules in the NFL. Plain and simple. The Lions didn't come. The Lions was unprepared. They didn't come to play. Green Bay was ready. They came to play. They was prepared, and that's what it is. All the fair weather fans, oh, this season's over. It's not over. It's one freaking game. It's one game. The Lions had a bad day. Plain and simple. The Lions had a bad day. Could it get better or could it get worse? We're seeing teams, good teams could come back. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Jared Goff went 31 for 39, a late touchdown to Tesla. Shout out to Tesla, man. That unbelievable one-hand catch. Shout out to him. But I'm going to get into that in a minute. Jared Goff, he threw a bad interception because of the pressure of Michael Parsons. It caused it. He was effective when he was out there. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs had 10 catches for only 34 yards. That's insane. And you got to get credit, like I said, Green Bay defense. They wanted it more. And he was like, well, why didn't go with the hard play at you? Why didn't go with the hard play at you? When you have a new offensive line, you have an offensive line that's got to gel together, got to get used to it. Especially you lose a guy like Ragnow, of the retirement. It's going to take some time. It's going to take time. I'm not giving up on the Lions, but also got to understand too that, there's going to be some growing pains. The offense just could not get it going yesterday. They couldn't. Yeah, they dominated. Yeah, you could say they dominated the time of possession, but they had to throw the dang on ball because of simple fact Green Bay was already winning. They came out the gate early. Jordan Love was looking like Peyton Manning and Tom Brady combined. He was sitting in that pocket, drinking some Mike's Heart lemonade. Some shrimp, eating some shrimp and whatever he was eating, sitting back in that pocket before he found the wide receiver. That's how Jordan Love was. He was sitting in that pocket, making nice, easy throws. And if you don't have, if you can't generate pressure on the quarterback, if you don't have a good pass rush, you're not going to win football games. That's just plain and simple. Aiden Hutchinson get double teamed. He could have done it alone. Davenport was a no-show. DJ Reader, he was getting double teamed. What do you expect? Jordan Love didn't even get sacked not one time. He may got hurt a few times. As Aloni dropped the interception. Then the next play, Brian Branch, a great interception, but it got called back due to a penalty. 2 penalties on us. If we wouldn't have had those penalties, Lions would have been back in this game. That whole momentum would have changed the complexion of the game. But instead, it gave Green Bay life again, and it was able to. And like you said, Green Bay, kick 2 field goals in the second half? Lions had opportunities. When they had the opportunities, they did. They had the opportunities. And just couldn't get it done. Aaron Donald got double teamed all the time. Don't get Hutch 5. Nah. But my thing is, it's unacceptable. Like you said, Shepard. First half, you was dropping Hutch from the coverage. Dropping in the coverage. Then Davenport. Dropping in the coverage like that. Like you said, it's not like they ran the deal all the time. I had to think about it. It's not like it was a big deal of it, but it was just the timing of it. And I think Shepard in the second half makes some type of adjustments. Green Bay, like you said, they came out. They was hype early, and they came out. They was hype early. They kind of calmed down a little bit, and and Green Bay made the plays. They was more hungry. They wanted it more. They wanted to send a statement in the division. They wanted to send a statement, and they did. They sent the statement. All I seen on Twitter and seen on, all the social media posts. Oh man, this is going to be a terrible year. The Detroit Lions. Oh my God, they're going to go SOL. I seen all that type of crap. I seen all that. Those fair weather fans, you just jump off shift now. It's just what it is. Because the simple fact is one freaking game. We're over. Yes, it's concerning, but it could be addressed. Plain and simple. it could be addressed. This a long season. Yes, it is. Lions is not going 15-2. Lions not going 16-1. They're not going 13-4. They're not doing it. I'm being a realist. They're not. My prediction, I said 10-7. I said 10-7, 11-6 at best. And that's one of the toughest schedules in football. You know, we got the Bears. You got the Bears coming up. Bears play tonight against the Vikings, another division game. So the Bears and the Vikings, both teams are trying to make a statement for the case for their division win. I'm interested to see what the Bears is, how they're going to look tonight against the Minnesota Vikings. Vice versa, how the Minnesota Vikings going to look. Two young quarterbacks. J.J. McCarthy makes his official career start. He didn't play last year, so you get the opportunity on a Monday night stage and show is he the franchise quarterback going forward. Is Caleb Williams in the Chicago Bears? Is he the franchise quarterback going forward? Well, obviously he is. He was the number one pick in the draft. You got Ben Johnson. You're supposed to have an offensive line. They're supposed to protect him. Let's see what happens tonight. Even if one of them loses, it's still going to make it. It's still a long season. But the fact that these Lions fans come out here, some of these fair weather Lions fans, I should say, not the realists, come out here and say this season is over. This is going to be terrible. Go jump off a ship right now. Because obviously you don't know football. It's a long season. We're seeing good teams. Look at Kansas City just lost. There are good teams that lost. Baltimore lost. They blew a 15-point lead in the fourth quarter and lost that game. They're still a good team. You know, we see good teams lose first game. Doesn't we go write them off? You know, it's just my, you know, like I said, it's going to be a long year. Like I said, not having a pass rush is not good. And Brad Holmes, he wants to be stuck in his ways. Let him be stuck in his ways. I'm happy that J-Mo got extended. I'm really happy. J-Mo got extended. 3 years, $83 million, $67 million guaranteed. You know, it's up to $83 million. I'm happy J-Mo's still here. I'm happy Brad Holmes extended him, gave him a contract extension. I'm happy about that. No problem. We love J-Mo. But my issue is, Brad Holmes, you had the money to extend the timing of it, but we couldn't re-sign a 1-year contract to bring back Zadarius Smith, which he played very well last year, despite the fact our defense was decimated with injuries. And you mean to tell me you could not bring, y'all just didn't want him. Y'all didn't want him on the team. Y'all felt so confident about Davenport. Okay, we'll see. We'll see that. He was a no-show yesterday. I want to see, is he going to show up against the Chicago Bears? I want to see if he's going to show up against the Baltimore Ravens. I want to see if he's going to show up against the Kansas City Chiefs, against the Cincinnati Bengals. I want to see if Davenport can stay healthy. Is he going to help Aiden Hutchinson around that edge? He's going to generate pass rush. I want to see this, Brad Holmes. Dan Campbell, you're so confident in Davenport. I want to see it. I'm going to give the benefit. It's only one game, but I need to see if he's going to do that. Because my word, I'll tell you this now. It's Zadarius Smith start getting pressure on Kansas City's offensive line, getting to Patrick Mahomes, and he started doing it on a consistent basis with the Eagles. It's gonna be real bad. It's gonna be real bad. And I've been saying this, and I love the Eagles. I'm an Eagles fan as well. I've been saying this. Howie Roseman is the best, excuse my language, he's the best fucking GM in football. I've been saying this. But nobody didn't want to listen. The game Thursday night against the Dallas Cowboys, the Eagles, Jalen Carter didn't even play. His stupidity, spitting, which he probably may get suspended for this Kansas City game, or he's definitely going to get a huge, significant fine. We know that for sure. Just imagine if Jalen Carter knew what he did. Him in the interior, along with Zadarius Smith, it would get general pressure on opposing quarterbacks. My goodness. We already talked about Green Bay with Rashad Gary and Michael Parsons. That's going to be a problem. But Zadarius Smith, Jalen Carter, in that interior, oh my goodness. But the point I'm going to make, Howie Roseman saw one game against a division rival, against the Dallas Cowgirls. I'm calling Cowgirls, not Cowboys. They don't deserve to be. Dallas Cowgirls. They didn't even get Jalen Carter. He was out. Dak didn't get sacked not one time. Not one time. Yeah, he got pressured. He didn't get sacked. Howie Roseman stood there looking like, no, I got to nip this in the bud right now. He picked up that phone call. He saw Zadarius Smith was still available. He picked up that phone call. Zadarius, how about you come play for this team for this year? You want to come win the Super Bowl? Plain and simple. 1 year for $9 million. And in Brad Holmes, you couldn't do that. It's not like you're so worried about, oh, I got to pay him the 3 to 4. No, it's 1 freaking year. And what Howie Roseman did, 1 year playing this season. Because Howie Roseman knows his football team. He wants some more. He wants another Super Bowl. He wants to know there are teams that's going to come after Philadelphia Eagles this year. He knows what it's going to take to win in this football. You got to have the trenches out there. You got to have a defense, a pass rush, and an offensive line that's going to protect. To open up the running game, open up the passing game. And that's what Howie Roseman looked at. And that's why he drafted so well as well. Brad Holmes is drafted well. I'll give you that. He's drafted so well. He's done a great job of drafting. But there are levels to this. It's like Brad Holmes is here, Howie Roseman is up here. There's levels to this. And like I said, man, it's just, in those situations that Howie Roseman got levels on. I don't care how long he's been there. There's some GMs that's been there for a long time and ain't not had success. Has not had success. Or has successful, just couldn't get it done. When it count most. Just saying. But I'm not going to overreact. Like say the season's over for Detroit Lions. But I'm not. It's still plenty of season. It's only September. It was only week 1. We got all the way to December. Like, this is one of the toughest schedules in the NFL. And this is what happens. You're playing against a lot of playoff caliber teams. You are. It's what it is. It's not going to be easy. It's not. It's not going to be easy for Detroit Lions. So, Lions had the opportunity. They could change this thing around. But also, too, they got the opportunity. They could just call this season quits. You know, like I said, the Lions will be all right, but it's not going to be easy. And this is the things I'm talking about. Some of the things that Brad Holmes, you could address this pass rush. If Darius Smith was out there alongside with Aiden Hutchinson, and he would have went up against his former team, Green Bay, again. Just imagine. Davenport was a no-show. I didn't even recognize he was on the field. He was a no-show. Aiden Hutchinson, a double team. Come on, man. It's just crazy to me, man. It really is. But, you know, and even said the crazy for Aiden Hutchinson, he's getting back in this game form. He's getting back to it. He was out. He was out last year. The man had 7 sacks before he got hurt. Come on, man. The man would have been Defensive Player of the Year if he hadn't got hurt last year. He was a wrecking force. Green Bay just wanted it more, man. That's just plain and simple. Like you said, we played them again on Thanksgiving. We played them again. So this is the opportunity for the Lions to go out and get revenge on them. You know, it's one division loss. You know, one division loss. Not going to get crazy and all that. We still got the Bears twice. Still got Green Bay one more time. We still got Minnesota twice. It's not going to be easy. Lions had the opportunity. You know, they can still go 5-1 in the division. They can still go 4-2 in the division. Hell, may go 3-3. It's not good luck, but that can make it happen. So it's just crazy. So, but hey, Lions got an opportunity. They got an opportunity, but they got to change it up. What John Morton's going to do, what adjustments he's going to make, him and Dan Campbell's going to make when it comes to offense, the play calling. What Kelvin Shepard's going to do, defensive play calling. What adjustments going to make for the Detroit Lions against the Chicago Bears? Let's put this game behind. It was a loss. Green Bay won. They're 1-0. They upped on us. They got that. They just look. They wanted to more look like the better team. So, hey, no, it's just what it is. It's what it is. So, but yeah, what I take for it, you know, let's go for it. Get out there and practice. Like you said, the Bears have a short week. They got one less day than us. They play tonight, so we'll see what's going to happen. We'll see that with the Bears. How they going to look, and what adjustments the Detroit Lions do. It's adjustments going to happen week by week. So, but yeah, that's how I'm looking at it. Quick thing, I want to talk about what happened Saturday night. Michigan against Oklahoma. Me as a Spartan fan, I want to talk. I want to talk about this Michigan game. All seriousness, I know I laugh and joke around talking about how Michigan this, Michigan that, and all this stuff. I blame this on coaching. The game, I blame this on the coaching. You handcuffed this man, Bryce Underwood. You handcuffed this man. You didn't put him in. He's a true freshman. You handcuffed this man in this game. Yes, Michigan had opportunities. They had opportunities to capitalize. They won the turnover battle. They forced the turnovers. They just didn't capitalize it. You handcuffed that man, Bryce Underwood. You know, with the play calling, the offense play calling, it was just what it is. You know, you handcuffed that man. I think Michigan, It's not like Oklahoma dominated that game. Their quarterback carried that team. Shout out to Mateer, man. He carried that team. He was a one man wrecking crew, man. It just times Michigan defense just looked tired. They looked tired. Their defense was out there too long. They looked tired. You know, their defense was out there too long. That quarterback, he made some plays. He ran that football. He carried that team. He really carried that team. So, like I said, Michigan was in this game. Even despite Oklahoma and the way how they looked, the turnovers kind of kept Michigan in the game. Michigan made plays, necessary plays when they need to. They just offensively couldn't capitalize. So, they got to go out there, regroup. And like I said, it's they cannot handcuff that man. They can't handcuff that man. But it's one loss for them. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna go back to the group. They got Central Michigan coming up this Saturday. It's a noon game. I believe it's on Big Ten Network, if I'm not mistaken. Who knows? Michigan should go ahead and take care. They definitely should take care of Central Michigan in a dominant fashion. So, Michigan State, my guys, boy, they scared the shit out of me. They scared that defense. Boy, Boston College, get them Boston College. They're a good team. Bill O'Brien coached this team. They're a good, solid team. But it was a revenge game. Michigan State, got Boston College punted the ball. When you get a stop and then turn around, we fumble. You know what I'm saying? On that kickoff, Amari Kelly, he had 2 fumbles, and we're lucky the second one just went out of bounds. But that fumble on the punt return, and it gave them short field. But very fortunate for us, Michigan State, we was able to cause a turnover pretty much right at the goal line and got a touchback. Got the ball. We marched downfield. We scored. Well, 7-0. And then Boston College, they responded, and they actually took the lead. Boston College, they just kept going, man. They kept moving the ball. They kept moving the ball on us, and our secondary just would not communicate. I think it was more on the players than the coaching staff on the Joe Rossi calling the plays. I think the players just was not communicating, because it was every time that Boston College. I mean, their quarterback, he had 3-4 touchdowns in the first half. Passed touchdowns in the first half. It did not look good. Our secondary did not look good. But second half, they was able to step up. Michigan State had their moments. They played well defensively. They kind of slowed them down until late in the fourth quarter. So we was able to hold them to a couple of field goals in the second half, including the one they kicked the game time field goal. But offensively, man, Michigan State was good. That was pretty good. I still have my concerns offensively as far as the offensive line. I'm not going to put all that on Childs. I mean, Childs, it was a couple of times he held onto the ball too long. I think he should have thrown it away. But also, too, I fought the offensive line, especially our guards, our right guard and our left guard. Like I said, we had 3 transfers over there. So coming come to Michigan State. So it's going to take some time and adjustment to that for those guys to gel together. But I felt like Aiden Childs was not, like I said, there were times he didn't have time to throw the ball because the offensive line didn't hold him to protect him like that. Like I said, I still have my concerns with the offensive line. As far as Aiden Childs overall, he was fantastic, man. He made the throws that he made. I know there's a couple of throws that he overthrew, that he missed. But Aiden Childs, man, he was unbelievable. 5 total touchdowns, 231 yards of passing. He had huge 2 Two passing touchdowns to Nick Marsh. Nick Marsh, that first one, he just wanted it more. Nick Marsh, one of the best wide receivers in the country. In the country. Top 5 wide receiver in the country. There's no debate about that. You know, he's up there with Jeremiah Smith at that team at Buckeye Country over there. But, you know, Nick Marsh, that was and in the other pass is in the third quarter. Nick Marsh, that was a great pass by Aiden Childs. Aiden Childs, he made plays, man, with his legs as well when he needed it. I think Aiden Childs is learning. He's learned, you know, when you have to make that play, make that play. He using it. He's making smart decisions. You see the growth of this kid. You know, he's only 20 years old. Well, he'll be 20 years old Friday. He's making those smart decisions. You see the growth in him. I think Jonathan Smith, I think this coaching staff is, you know, grooming him a lot more. You see the maturity. You see in him, he's not making silly throws. He's not turning the ball over. He's making smart decisions. So that was his best game as a Michigan State of his career. By this point right now, this was his best. I don't care what. This was his best. And going into overtime, especially that one, he ran it up the middle in double overtime to tie the game. And, you know, and that was a great play calling, that play action for the game winning 2-point conversion, man. That was a great play calling. Great play calling. And Amari Kelly with the catch, game winning 2-point conversion. Michigan State with the victory. So I'm proud of those guys, man. We got Youngstown State coming up this Saturday. Expect Michigan State go and take care of business in that one. Put this team away in a hurry. Shout out to our running backs, Frazier and Tullis. You know, they was very solid for the most part. They did their jobs. They good runs. Still see a little bit more for those guys, but I think Michigan State would be fine with that. But like I said, defensively, their defensive line, they was doing everything they can to get pressure on that quarterback of Boston College. Our back end just didn't. It was just a lot of miscommunication, especially in that first half, and then for late in the first overtime, it was miscommunication. But they when they need to make the plays when matter most, they made the plays, especially in that 2-point conversion in the second overtime. They made that play. That's what made an opportunity for us to go for a touchdown and win on the 2-point conversion. So there's some work that needs to be done, but I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm offensive line. I'm still very concerned because we got USC coming up in a couple weeks. That's not gonna be easy going out there to USC. I know they're not the same USC, but they're not gonna be something we're gonna overlook. We got Penn State, we got Michigan. I mean, thank God we don't have Ohio State this year, but it's just the point that Michigan State, you know, we got a favorable schedule, man. We got a favorable schedule. You know, Indiana's not going to be easy. Illinois, they're not. You know, so this is opportunity for Michigan State to be bowl eligible, have a bowl game going forward. This is the year for Jonathan Smith and this Michigan State program. Trending up in the right direction. I believe in my college football team. I believe in my team. They're going to be bowl eligible this year. Aiden Childs is going to grow and continue to get better. So obviously, that's how I feel about it. But yeah, like I said, Michigan, they play against Central Michigan. Michigan State against Youngstown State. So it's going to be a great week for college football. NFL, like I said, Lions, you know, on to Chicago. Home opener against the Bears. So look for the Lions. I believe they're going to get this win against the Chicago Bears. Once they can make the adjustments and play smart, play better football, they will be fine. Um, right quick before you get out of here, Tigers playoffs is coming around. Tigers did lose 2 out of 3. They're 2-4 in their homestand. That's not good. You lost twice to the, like I said, it's a division game. It's not pretty. That's not good. Really, they're half game behind Toronto for the best record in the American League, but um, Tigers got to be careful because simple fact they can lose those games. They can end up dropping down as a wild card. And well, those as a third seed, now you got to play a wild card team, and it's not easy. So Tigers had an opportunity. They got an opportunity. They got opportunity, to stay in the top 2 seeds. I'm not saying that they got to be the number 1 seed. I would love that to happen. So if we do go to the American League Championship Series, we don't have to go through starting on the road against Toronto. So when Toronto does get there. So, but this is an opportunity for Tigers, to get it together, so. But yeah, get ready for playoff baseball. Hockey, got the Wings is going to be coming up, so so it's definitely I want to see how this Wings going to look this year. Also want to see our Detroit Pistons. Our Pistons basketball is going to be back. I'm definitely excited that the Pistons is an opportunity on 16 national televised games on ESPN, NBC, and Peacock, NBA TV, and all those sites. Man, I'm definitely excited. The Pistons an opportunity to be on national televised, be on TV. They're definitely gonna be doing down to a few Pistons games this year, so it's gonna be excited down there in LCA. It's gonna be very exciting. So definitely gonna be bringing y'all some Pistons content. Stay tuned for that, man. This year, man, it's an NBA content, man. So it's your boy D313XP. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Your boy's gonna be back. Sean Carr gonna be out here on weekends, so but your boy's gonna be back. Dropping some content. My guy Bree, my guy Nomus J, my guy Ed, my guy Drew, the guys, and shout out, to my guys at Dynasty Sports Network, man. We gonna be back on there as well. DSN 313, Dynasty Sports. My guy Big A, my guy Wise Man Cass, my guy Zell, Coach of Detroit. Make sure you go, man, and my guy Randy, man. Shout out to my guy Randy. Make sure if you go down to Coach of Detroit, the Avenue of Fashion on Livernois, right between 7 Mile Outer Drive, next to Cuzzo's Chicken and Waffles. And we got Coach downtown, off of Griswold, right between Grand River and Griswold. Well, it's on Griswold. I'm sorry, I apologize for that. Right off of between State Street and Grand River on Griswold, man. Culture downtown, man. So make sure you stop by there, show love, to both of those stores down there, man. Show love, man. Get you some merchandise down there, man. So they hook you up, man. So, but yeah, man. I'm happy to be back. Like I said, it's been a long time, man. So, I'm happy to just bring out some content, man. Very appreciate your guys. So very appreciate y'all, man. Y'all also catch me. One thing too, you also catch me. I will be on times on Detroit Fan Report with those guys Bandit, and Chris, and Rich, and those guys, and all the other guys out there in part of the NFL crew podcast as well, man. So make sure I will be on there as well, man. So make sure y'all like, subscribe to that, man. Detroit Fan Report. Saying they got great consistent content, man. Shout out to my guy Walter Stringer and my guy Shanti, man, for the Lions Avenue podcast, man. Shout out to those guys, man. Appreciate the work they do, man. Shout out to all everyone's to like and support this channel, man. Very appreciate y'all, man. So it's your boy DC1. Boy got to get out of here. Boy got to go to work today and this afternoon. Everybody enjoy your day today. Peace.